Hey guys, this is Hell Hades. This is going to be another Raid Shadow Legends video. Guys, every now and again I come across an epic which I've not really played much with, and I realise I have been sleeping on this great champion. We did that recently and I felt like I've got to do a full guide, and that is Shatterbones. Shatterbones is literally top tier, top tier epic champion in the game. His kit is bonkers good, and he can do damage as well. So he's got an A1, places a weak source, increase attack buff on all allies if he crits. Fine, whatever. A1, bit weird, but not too bad. A2 then, if you book this down, 4-turn cooldown, attacks all enemies, 3 hits. He does 3 different hits against all enemies. And he's got a 75% chance, if you book him out, to reduce turn meter by 30%. This is worth books. This is a really great ability. In the arena, you're slamming back turn meter, almost guaranteed to put everyone's turn meter back to 0. Spider is going to reduce turn meter to 0, albeit his AI is dumb for Spider, which is really disappointing. Faction Wars, bam, back to 0. Wave Control, back to 0. Really great ability here. He's also got more turn meter control. So his A3 throws out the weak source decreased speed, and he fills your team's turn meter by 25%. This is another great ability for managing waves, making sure that you get your abilities off quickly. And Shatterbones for me is like the champion which I did not expect to love. Really like his abilities, and he does a ton of damage as well. So I built his masteries out to have Helm Smasher here, mainly because I am running him for arena, I'm running him for dungeon content. I just want him to hit hard. If you are not able to gear your champions to do much damage, then you will do one or two things. You will either put him into War Master, and then you get your damage guaranteed through War Master procs, or you'll actually just take him into accuracy and make sure that he does all of his turn meter stuff. So I like this build because it enables me to do damage with the gearing that I'm going to do, but there's definitely something to be said around War Master, and if you're using him specifically for mainly arena, you might go into that accuracy tree there. But yeah, really good champion. So how have I geared mine then? You'll see I've got this like mishmash of gear. Basically what I've tried to do is push up his speed, push up his accuracy, give him some crit rate, and then give him a bit of damage. So I have gone for crit rate gloves with a crit damage roll. I've gone for HP chest so that he can stay alive. I've gone for speed boots. And then in the other places, I'm looking for speed, crit rate, crit damage, and accuracy on all of my pieces. Almost got it kind of across the board. Yeah, to build his accuracy level up so that he doesn't miss his drop turn meter stuff. Build his speed up so that he's effective. And then on the jewelry, I've actually gone attack because I had a good HP roll. Most people here are probably going to go HP or defense on the jewelry, depending on where you play him. I've gone crit damage because I've got a high amount of crit rates. And then you definitely want accuracy on the banner, ideally with some speed on it as well. So perception set, really good on him here. You can see I've got perception, 1 set perception, gives me accuracy and speed. Speed set, really good on him. I've gone cruel as well, but another speed set would be good here to speed him up even more, to be fair. So really solid abilities. Let's take him for a spin. First place I'm going to show you is actually Faction Wars. Because Ogryn Tribes struggle for certain areas of the game. They don't really have they don't have many options for decreased defense style champs, which means you need to control turn meter a lot more. So I've got Bellower in here for like a weak source, decreased defense. I could even bring out my big hitters and go for something like this, or maybe even something like this. You need turn meter control for this boss. So the ideal is actually to bring, like when I first did this boss, I used double man eater and I pumped their accuracy up so that they drop turn meter all the time. Someone like Gergo here is good to get us through waves, but that's about it. Someone like a Bellower is good to help us control waves, but you'll see what Shatterbones does to waves. He literally deals with the waves by himself. So Gergo is going to freeze him up. He's a insane legendary. I get my Grush in here basically for his ability to put Leech out, so that for the boss I've got some healing coming in. Shatterbones here. Look at the turn meter drop. So even though they're frozen, if they weren't frozen, they're still not getting a go. They're still not getting a go because Shatterbones has pulled their turn meter right back down to 0, which makes the wave control easy. You know what? I'm going to take Gergo out of this because Gergo's making it look like he's the reason I'm winning, and he's not. Gergo's in there. This fella's not even geared. Look, let's throw in a couple of other likely heroes. Let's try some of this, just so you can get a better feel for what Shatterbones is actually doing here. So he gets the decreased speed off first. It's only the small version, but it's still effective. My Bellower's in a stun set here, by the way. Turn meter drop there. See that? So basically, all bar one of these champs has got no chance of having a turn. And it's Lure, which is probably the one we wanted to lock out, to be fair. But we're still fine. And the way I've got him built, he doesn't have very high defense, but he's got very high HP, which means that he's not going to be the target on these waves. So even his A1, he's got a bit of turn meter on his Masteries. So we're now waiting for it to cycle back through again. I think it's one more turn cooldown, and then he'll be doing that turn meter drop again. He's kind of similar to me to a Sylar. There's a decreased speed comes off. Yeah, he just comes in and does a ton of control abilities. What I like about him, though, is he also does damage with it. So see his move coming here. That's his A1. He's put increased attack on all of us. The one thing I don't love about him is his AI seems a bit weird. He likes to do that A1. But there you go. He's just dropped all of their turn meter. They're not getting a turn. We need to be a bit careful because we've got the old unkillable going on here, but we should be fine. And then, bam, we're going to be onto the final champ, who we've just got to wait for that unkillable to wear off. But bearing in mind, we're on level 21 faction wars here, so we're on proper endgame content. She's going to get a turn, but not move. Onto the boss. And then on this boss, you need turn meter control. So this is the boss, which throws out the true fears, the poisons, all that type of stuff. HP burns when you hit him. So you don't want him to get turns, basically. You don't want him to get turns. Grush is going to hopefully get us our leech out in a minute. And then Shatterbones on this boss in particular is going to enable us not to take so many hits, basically. So we should get the turn meter control moves next, I believe, from him. We're just killing the side ads here, which is what you want to do. Even if you're doing this on manual, you want to take these side ads out first. So good job, full auto. Bam. Nearly down one down. Hopefully we'll kill that second one as well, and then it's just a case of dealing with the boss. So the boss claps pretty hard here. Got the turn meter control coming in here in terms of decreased speed, so now the boss is getting less goes. Now I think Shatterbones would have had his decreased turn meter right there. I think he had it, and he didn't use it because he loves putting this increase attack on his A1. But there it is, and you see the boss's turn meter drops to 0. And now we get a bit of time to get a bit of work done on the boss. Now, if I was properly trying to 3-star this for the faction, then I've already failed because someone's sitting on the floor dead. But obviously, you would normally be doing your first time trying to kill this. You'd be doing it on manual to make sure that these type of mistakes don't happen. So it's going to pop down. I think we've done it anyway at this stage because of the leech on there. But you can just see like the turn meter control that he brings. If I paired him up with a man-eater as well, or a slightly stronger team, then literally the boss has got no chance because we'll be soaking up that turn meter the whole time. So faction wars, he's awesome for. Let's go and look at him in other areas of the game as well. And I'll show you how good he is there. We do this full auto. And it's quite a tough one actually. The Ogryn Tribes is one of the tougher factions. But you see here in terms of damage as well, he's kind of like mid-tier Bellower level, which is not bad. So let's get him onto some dungeons. I have been using him actually in my main dragon team for the event that's been going on recently. This is for a different video. Shatterbones in. He brings in accuracy in arena battles, so he's not going to be any good for that here. So I was using him in a team for the Golem Pact event that's been going on. But we can throw him in a team like this. Let's just put in a kind of weird and wonderful team. Let's have some of this, some of this, some of this. So we've got crowd control, we've got turn meter control, we've got decreased defense, we've got our damage, and we've got a resurrect here. I probably don't even necessarily need that resurrect there, because I don't think anyone's going to die. We can do this instead. And you'll see here how effectively he's going to help our team just stay alive, basically. Get us to the boss. That's what we want. Tails our damage. We've got stun set on Diabolist, stun set on War Maiden. We've got provokes coming in from Nullhorn. And then we've basically got a ton of turn meter control coming on from Shatterbones. So Shatterbones is making sure that Nullhorn doesn't take too many hits. And it means we just get through the waves very quickly. He also increases our attack, which, if you think about something like, well, I'll show you Spider shortly, but think about Ultimate Gaelic needing an increased attack ability. He can actually help you do that. So he's only about wave control. When we get to the actual dragon, nothing he does is going to help us. But the fact that he's reducing speed, he's reducing turn meter, even negative affinity here. Look how down the turn meter is. Literally nothing they can do past this. So I'll whiz this on. We'll beat the boss, and then I'll get us on to the next dungeon as well. Okay, so let's move on then to Ice Golem. Ice Golem, I think he's even more effective because he can do turn meter control on the boss. He is the negative affinity here, so that's going to cause us a bit of pain. So I guess I'm going to keep him in for that block revive. Or maybe we don't. Maybe we go for something a bit more fruity. Let's see if we get lucky and Armiger can get a couple of block revives going. So we have Armiger in. We can have Shatterbones again for just turn meter control. I can have Nullhorn again for wave control. Yeah, you see how this team starts to just be useful again and again. We can get a drop turn meter and drop defense. I'm going to use Tomb Lord in here, not used him for a while. Tomb Lord can do decrease attack and defense for me. And I just need something that's going to deal with wave 2, otherwise we're going to get wrecked. Maybe someone who's just going to give us some defensive stats. See if he's built. Yeah, looking good. Okay. So Shatterbones will be the target here. He's the negative affinity. So we kind of need a team that is not going to allow him to take all of those hits. Because he's not, although he's got high HP, he doesn't have high defense. His base defense is quite low. However, with the amount of provokes and stuff we get in this setup, I think we're going to be fine. So we don't have any kind of natural healing going on for Nullhorn. When we get to the actual boss, Nullhorn will die. Shatterbones in this instance, so we're up against negative affinity and he's not using his A2. This is what's frustrating about his AI. I don't know what's making his brain think it's not the time to use that A2. I think it's to do with wanting to put increased attack on the rest of the team, which is weird. It's a bit like when Maneater also doesn't use his A2 ability. I don't really get it because it's his strongest ability for this sort of wave control. Again, not using it there. So on auto, he's frustrating because his kit should be way better than it's showing right here. So I've already fed that back into the guys at base camp because it's bonkers. But I think it is literally just because he is looking for that increased attack for the rest of the team, which is frustrating. Certainly in the arena, he does it. Does he do it on auto? Actually, no. He still likes to do his A3 first in the arena on auto. So he's a much stronger champion if you manual with him. And I'll show you that on the boss in a minute. So again, we'll leave it on auto to start with. You see he gets his decreased speed out. We get our decreased defense and attack out from our Tomb Lord. Tomb Lord's great here because he throws out a load of poison as well. So he goes with the A1 even though he's got his A2. Once increased attack is on, let's see if he then decides to actually do the move we want him to do. No, he still wants to keep putting it on. Because people haven't got it on, he wants to keep throwing it on there. So maybe you need another increased attack champion in your team to make that work. Otherwise he just keeps doing it. Very frustrating on auto. So what I'm going to do is just take him off of that. I want him to kill that fella. So if you see here, I mean, we're wrecking people's turn meter right back to 0. Why he doesn't do that on auto is beyond me. So, but you can see on manual, absolutely insane. On auto, quite frustrating. So I'm going to let this play through anyway. We'll take this boss down, and then I'll show you what he can do on Spider, again, on manual. So if you're struggling to get past Spider 19, Shatterbones actually comes in as the neutral affinity really effectively here. So this is where I think he's best. Spider 20, he doesn't do what you want him to on auto, which means that unless you're just going to do manual runs, it's pretty ineffective. So Sylar can come in and do the first drop turn meter. We can get some shielding on from our Solaris. We can do our own increased attack on our Ultimate Gaelic. It didn't land. This is a really important point. It didn't land. So actually this time we go A1 with Shatterbones. He puts our increased attack on, which means the second time we can now still do our HP burn. Let's get the decreased accuracy out there. Don't need to do that yet, just A1. So we now get a chance to put our HP burn out because Shatterbones give us the increased attack. So he's doing two things for us here. We can then drop turn meter, give us time to get that damage off without taking too much damage ourselves. And now we've got HP burn on what, like half the Spiderlings? And all we're doing now is we're just rotating back to those abilities. So don't need to do that yet. We're just trying to keep getting that increased attack up. A1 there, hopefully get a couple of stuns off. A1, no, we'll do A2 for shield. And every time now the Spiderlings move, they're going to burn. So yeah, he actually pairs really nicely with an Ultimate Gaelic as your sort of main damage dealer. And if you're struggling just to get through Spider 19, I think he's actually a really good champion to come in and help you do that on manual. So this team wins 100%. It's just about time, and it won't be a quick run. Probably be like a 4-minute run. Often on Spider 19, it can be a slow run. It doesn't matter. You just need to do it. You just need to get through it. So let's just get a heal away. See if we can get some more burns out. Got the increased attack up because of our Shatterbones. Actually done too much damage to a lot of these. Get our decreased turn meter back out. Actually didn't land it at all on the boss. That's quite unlucky. And this, as I say, this is going to end up being quite a long run. I'm going to whiz it through to the end. But you get the idea. The other thing, actually, in fact, I'm not even going to whiz it through. The other thing I want to show you just on the boss is, on Spider 20, is what I mean about his kind of ability to deal with this. So let's put in a tank that can actually tank. Put Razin in here. Like this. So on Spider 20, if I just pressed auto, he would never do the A2 at all. If I click the Spider on auto, let's see what he does. So if I click the Spider, Ultimate Gaelic does what you want him to do. We still get the A3 off first. A1, see? So even clicking, sometimes when on champions, if you click the Spider, they actually do the right AI. But this guy looks like he's still not going to do it. No, still just wants to A1 the whole time. So on auto, this guy's annoying. On manual, he's awesome. So let's come out of there. So in the arena then, last place I'm going to show you, he comes in as a really good team to counter. Look how many champions here are Magic Affinity. Magic. A lot of the top tier nukers in the game are Magic Affinity. So it actually comes in as the positive affinity to a lot of those champions. It also enables you to put someone in your team that is super slow. So if we look at what I'm running here, I could put in a like 100 odd speed. Let's see what my Skull Crown is. Not that one. This one. I've got a Skull Crown here who's 107 speed. Normally you'd have to run a nuker to be much faster to stand a chance. We can put him in here with this 107 speed Skull Crown and still get a turn away here. So look at these three. In immunity set, I'm doing turn meter drop. Immunity set does not stop you dropping turn meter. Bam, bam, bam. We still get the damage away. Tons of damage. And we dropped all of their turn meter to enable our nuker to come in and finish the job without any trouble at all. So when you get into the arena, he's actually top class. So I guess in summary, his AI is dumb, but his kit is awesome. So I'm going to feed that back and hope that something changes, because he should actually be in a lot of auto teams, but he's definitely an unsung hero in the faction war team for Ogryn Tribes. And if you do manual stuff, he's actually freaking amazing. So anyway, guys, I've been Hell Hades. That's been Shatterbones. I'll catch you in a video soon.